Then India as individuals, you are nobody. Zero is a number. You're nobody. Sahabi goes and says, my prayers are not getting answered. That's what he's saying. That if you have autistic philosophy, that's worse than you have autistic psychology. That if you are not going to become this one system, this one nation, and contribute whatever you have, then you are the cancer to that organism. No, I'll tell you what the Quran says, and I'll tell you the seerah, and you do the math. Just do the math on the last 20 times that your prayers were answered. Okay, you know what, 10. You know what, 5. Okay, you know what, last 2 times your prayers were actually answered. Have you ever asked this question to anyone? How much of a Muslim are you? You know what the answer is? Oh, I pray 5 times a day. That's how much of a Muslim? I'll tell you an example. I'm just going to quote you an example. There's a big study. I'm going to finish with this, and I'm going to take your question. Doctors overseas, I don't trust Imran Khan's stats, but he did quote, his administration quoted that more than 12 billion rupees, or maybe dollars, he was quoting, are coming from overseas Pakistanis to Pakistan. See, when there's a system of measurement, you can actually measure the contribution. وَأَعِدُّ لَهُمْ مَسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ. Allah Ta'ala says, get all the money in. So if there was a system, economically speaking, I could exactly know, and I have done the calculation, that's what we're going to release, inshallah, in Perth, if time allows us. There are 3 major indicators. One is the big economic indicator, the financial. You can know how much of a Muslim you are if there is a system and you're contributing to that system. That's very simple math. So we can know that, for example, APNA doctors are about $500,000 a year. There are 12,000 registered Muslim doctors in APNA. So you know what that means? 12,000 means $500,000, $6,000 million. Which means 6 billion, 600 billion. That can shake any and every system, right? Even if they do 10% of it. You know, I'm giving you an example. Make sure you understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm giving you the measure. If there is no system, you're worth 0 as a Muslim. But if you have a system, you can have a worth, even measured in terms of money. Now, I gave you this example so that you can understand. Just like APNA, the doctors, there's another organization. I need you to Google that up today. You should have known by now. Israel is measuring the worth of every Jew through every penny every Jew is contributing towards the system of Judaic philosophy installed by Theodor Herzl in Tel Aviv, which is called Israel. So their system called Israel is actually measuring the worth of every Jew who is, I swear to God, contributing to all these 3 things, primarily money, which is the Quran's order, that if you are not going to become this one system, this one nation, and contribute whatever you have, and become one organism, then you are the cancer to that organism. Okay? This is what Allah is saying. This is Israel. This is the model of Israel. That's what I'm saying, that they are the Jews of the Quran. And I'm asking you that overseas Pakistanis, overseas Muslims are the biggest hope for me. Local Pakistanis cannot even dream of what I'm saying right now. They can't even comprehend what I'm saying right now. They think I'm a kook. And living example of Israel is right in front of them. So, here Allah Ta'ala says, Inna Allah la yughayyiru. The key word is, ma biqawm. If you're not coming together as one nation, one system, okay? If you're not treating each other as one system, one people, then India as individuals, you're nobody. You're nobody. You're not worth 0. No. 0 is a number. You're nobody. And if you come inside a system, connect with each other, then work towards a single purpose, then you become a system. And it has, first and foremost, financial demand upon you. And that's what وَأَعِدُّ لَهُمْ مَسْتَطَعْتُم means. And that's exactly what Allah is saying, that okay, if you are not going to behave like a system, behave like people, as single organism, all of you, then I'm not going to help you. That's why I've said no prayer of any Muslim is going to be answered. कोई दुआएं कबूल नहीं होनी आपकी. ये अल्लाह ताला ने यहाँ पे बता दिया हुआ है. इसलिए नहीं हुई आज तक कोई दुआएं कबूल. मांग के देखें, रो के जान नमाजों पे कई कई हजार तस्बीहात की मिन्नतें मांग के देखें, दुआएं कबूल नहीं होनी. Rule is simple. This is it. This is a Surah Rad. Google it up, Surah Rad. Look, this is not the translation. This is not the translation. Translation, you should Google up. This is what I'm just saying. Iqbal ne शेर लिखा था ना. What is Iqbal शेर? खुदा ने आज तक उस कौम की हालत नहीं बदली, ना हो जिसको ख्याल खुद अपनी हालत के बदलने का. This is the translation of this ayah. Iqbal just wrote it in poetry. Does this say that if a man does not fix himself and his nafs and tazkiyah, Allah is not going to help him? No. It says Allah only helps when you come together and behave the way I made a purpose for Islam to be. Inna deena inda Allahil Islam. Allah only has Islam. Islam is not an individualistic matter. If it were, Prophet ﷺ would have been in different jungles and different isolated deserts. But no, he came in, he brought in everybody together, established a system, and we reaped the fruit of that system for till 1924. After that, every cleric, every speaker, every teacher, every school teacher, every Hafiz al-Quran, every muallim, every sheikh, every sheikha, better start getting their act together, that every Muslim has to come together, otherwise no Muslim is going to survive. But Muaz bin Jabal, when he was going to Yemen by the Prophet ﷺ, he was sending him to Yemen, Muaz bin Jabal realized through the words of the Prophet ﷺ that Prophet ﷺ is not going to be here next year. And they both were crying, by the way. Both were crying. Prophet ﷺ is, going, sending him to Yemen, and he's just, bidding him farewell and goodbye. And Muaz bin Jabal says, what if I die and I cannot be with you? Or what if I'm physically not close to you and, either one of us die? Then the Prophet says, you don't have to be with me or close to me physically. Wherever you are, and as long as you're connected with me, through your, whatever deeds that you're doing, whatever the purpose that you're trying to suffice for, it doesn't matter whether you are in Israel or not. We are not Jews. We don't have to be in Mecca to be Muslims. Wherever we are, we have to be connected as one, and run as one, and perform as one. Unless we get connected, this is not going to come true. And if it's not going to come true, no individual Muslim, anything is going to come. Oh, divine help is coming. Aunillah, la ara, riyah, aunillah. No, everyone is going to say that. No, I don't see the aunillah coming in. The winds of Allah's help, they're not going to come in for me. Because I am just a man. I'm sorry. I need the system to back me up. The funnel gets connected and everything, every good comes to me. That's how simple it is. Are you not sad that a guy of my age has the guts to say that no prayer of yours is going to be answered? Are you not, your mind creating a challenge? How dare you say that to me, man? It is between me and my God. Is he going to depend on what you have to think about Islam? No, I'll tell you what the Quran says, and I'll tell you the seerah, and you do the math. And then you know what? Even if you don't want to do the math, just do the math on the last 20 times that your prayers were answered. Okay, you know what? 10. You know what? 5. Okay, you know what? Since I'm in Canberra, last 2 times your prayers were actually answered. In a row. Literally. And you think it's a small matter? That's all we have. Allah, dua. What else do we think we have? और कोई asset है हमारे पास? दुआ से बड़ा कोई asset है हमारे पास? Read the hadith. I'm giving you a homework. Ali bin Abi Talib, the Sahabi goes and says, my prayers are not getting answered. And he says, you cannot be alone. Read the hadith. And he says, what do you mean I cannot be alone? It's like, there must be more of you. Go ask around. There must be more of you. Make a group and come back to me. And then the next day he says, yeah, there are a lot like me who prayers are not answered. And Ali bin Abi Talib said, there are 8 things you got to do. 8 things. If they are not intact, no prayers are going to be answered. Get those 8 things in order. Read those 8 things. Homework. I gave you the whole thing. Homework is a little too easy, but come on. Self-esteem, white psychology, brown psychology, forget about all of this. This is the way more important problem on the table. No prayer is ever going to be answered. I think I'd rather be an Aussie and still get, a brown Aussie and still get all of my prayers answered. I'm okay with no self-esteem and still have my prayers answered. I'm just giving you an example of how big of a loss it is as an individual if you're not together as a group. I'm a nobody, and nobody gets nothing. Allah only listens to people who are strong. Imagine the odds. If I'm strong, Allah's going to make me stronger? Yeah. Same philosophy in Bible. Same philosophy in the Torah. Allah only helps those who are helping themselves as a group. So, Olympics करनी पड़ेंगी, इससे कम chance. Hey, Islam makes you start with the Olympics. Start with the Olympics. Imagine how beautiful this philosophy is. Nothing but the Olympics. Sorry, everyone's going to be a global level athlete. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, every problem. Okay?